What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... No, that's it. Okay, cool. Making their debut on the channel tonight. We have all one word here. It's all one word. Blessthefall. Yes, indeed. How about that? Blessthefall making their debut on the channel. Before going any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Childra, and this is actually one of Childra's 3 prioritized requests for the month of February for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Childra. Hope you enjoy the show. Childra wanted to see me react to this. It is Blessthefall with a tune called Keep Me Close. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Rise Records, again, all one word, and the video has 867,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Blessthefall, Keep Me Close. There it is. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
And keep me close, like a moment you're afraid of. So now, this is how it feels when you're all alone. This is how it feels when your heart starts racing. And you can ask, but you'll never know. The way it feels, the way it feels. Thoughts are terrible, hollowing ways
I can see the appeal. I do see the appeal. I can see why a lot of people would be attracted to this. Okay, so this is really more than anything, it's the engineering. The layering. Layers upon layers upon layers upon layers upon layers upon more layers. Very full sounding as a result. It's going to sound amazingly full, amazingly thick. It's gonna give all of the flavors and the fullness to the listener in a listening experience with the album. Absolutely, it's going to do that without question, and it is. I think the mix is really wet. There is a ton of reverb being utilized, and in particular on the vocals, to the point where the vocals are being held over. Even after they stop singing, the vocals are still decaying over the course. Serious, and this is not an exaggeration. Over the course of like 4 to 5 seconds, it decays. There is so much reverb. It really needs to be cut back. It needs to be dried out. But the vocals are really the only thing. Instrumentally, everything sounds tight. Everything sounds very tight. The unison lines sound tight. And with the layering that they're doing, doubling and redoubling every single instrument, it's going to be very full sounding. Here's the problem, though. When bands like this, that rely on doubling and redoubling and redoubling and redoubling, when bands like this perform live, you're not going to get that. Not unless you're using track. You're going to have to use a lot of track to get that same full sound. So much track that playing live almost becomes pointless. Because you got to get that fullness. And the only way you're going to get fullness from a live sound is to have 8 guitars and 4 basses and 4 drum kits. It's the only way. And they all have to play in unison. You know, it's the only way to get that same sound without using track. So there's going to be a lot of track usage when you see these guys play live. There's going to be a ton. And they don't have a choice, because they're going to have to get that same full sound that they get on the albums. If they don't, and they play live without backing tracks to help support them, it's going to end up sounding very hollow. Very hollow. So just be prepared. If you see these guys play live, be prepared for a lot of backing track usage. And a lot of auto-tune. Yeah, be ready for that too. I mean, like I said, I can see the appeal. I can see a lot of people liking stuff like this. I do. And I know bands like this do get a lot of attention. And a lot of people will follow these guys around. Me personally, as much as I want to say I'm enjoying it, I'm trying to. Like, I'm really trying to enjoy this, but I'm having a very hard time. It's very digital, and all that reverb is not helping. So I don't know. We'll see by the time we get to the end of the song. Maybe they'll win me over. Maybe I'll be a fan. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Just in the keyboards alone, at least 8 layers. That decay is just ridiculous. No, I'm still not a fan. I'm just not. I'm sorry, folks. Listen, there's no way. It is impossible for me as a reactor to sit here and pretend like I love everything I hear. It's dishonest. And I refuse to be one of those reactors that do that. Oh, I love this. I love that. I love everything I listen to. You know, let me manipulate you. Let me pander to you. So you love me and you give me likes and clicks and subscribes and thumbs up and you go to my merch page and buy my merch and everything. I'm just not going to do that, folks. I'm going to tell you straight, okay? I've been that way from day one and I'm going to be that way until the day this channel ends. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. I'm just not. There's going to be things on the channel I love. There's going to be things on the channel I don't love. And this is definitely one I don't love on a personal level. Now, that's just how I personally feel. Now, like I said, and I mentioned this twice, I see the appeal. There is an appeal here. And we're going to talk about it, I promise. And you'll see how we end up. I already know the score I'm going to give. I already know. So, you'll see, and I'll explain to you how we got there. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Blessthefall with Keep Me Close. This was a request from Childra. And this was actually one of Childra's 3 prioritized requests for the month of February for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Childra. Hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, like I said, folks, it's physically impossible to sit here and listen to hundreds, thousands of songs and say that you're going to love every single one of them. I'm sorry. Anybody who does that, I mean, you really have to kind of question whether they mean it or not. And this is one of those times, guys, honestly, where I gotta be honest with you guys. I always have, I always will be. And I'm sorry, but I did not love this. I did not even like this. I really didn't. I didn't hate it. Okay, I didn't hate it, but I was not a fan. I did not like this. No, not at all. That's just how I personally feel. But when I give the score, I'm probably going to shock a few people, and their jaws are going to hit the ground and go, what? And I promise I'm going to explain why. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.4. Yep, 7.4. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Oh boy, I know right now people's eyebrows shot through the ceiling, and they're all sitting there going, "What? What do you mean you're what? But you said you didn't like it." Trust me, folks, we're gonna get to all of it, okay? I promise. But let's start with the 7.4 and what that means. 7.4 would come out to a really good skill rating because, believe it or not, overall, I think it's a really good song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B as in boy, B+ letter grade. Yeah, let that one sink in. So there you go, 7.4, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B as in boy, B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Oh boy, that is a journey. So glad you asked. Like I have said on the channel many times, I don't have to love a song to give it a great score. I don't. And by the same token, I don't have to hate a song to give it a lower score. I don't. Personal feeling aside, okay? I personally, not a fan. I'm just going to be straight with you guys on that. But looking at the song objectively, did they do anything wrong? Not, okay. By definition, no, they did not. Personally, there were some things I think that really need to be tweaked. look, I've seen bands like this before. I've heard bands like this before. They rely very heavily on backing track when they perform live, to the extent that you almost can't tell if they're playing live or if they're doing a lip sync job. It's that heavy in the mix. And they have to, because they kind of painted themselves into a corner. I will say the engineering on this is very well done. I mean, the amount of layering that was done on this is really good, and it's really well balanced, really well leveled out. Nice selection of voicings. It sounds really good within a mix. Now, there are two complaints I have about the mix. Number one, people often ask me, is there such thing as too many layers? My answer is yes, there is. And this really walks up to the border. If there had been more layers thrown on this, I think the song might have imploded upon itself. There were a ton of layers to the point where 100% live play with no tracking, no track usage at all, it's going to be impossible unless you have a lot of musicians on the stage. And the other thing is the reverb. Oh my goodness, the reverb on the vocals in particular. There would be times where he would start a sentence and he would stop it on a dime. He would just, boom, cut off the word, and the word would just decay over the course of like 4 to 5 seconds because there was so much reverb on there. The mix was so wet with reverb. It was drowning within itself. It really was. I'm not a fan of that. I'm just not. I like reverb. I do. Reverb has a place in vocals in particular. Have you ever heard dry vocals on an album? It sounds bad. It does. It lacks life after all the compression and expansion and all the noise gating and the EQing. It sounds very sterile. You add reverb on it and it gives it a breath of fresh air. It gives it life. It has value. It is needed on every studio recording, but there's a big difference between having a, half second to 1 second reverb decay versus 5 to 8 seconds. That's just way too much. At least I think so. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are going to find this to be sounding very appealing to them. And that's because of the fullness. That nobody can accuse this song of sounding hollow. Nobody. Even when all the voicings are stripped out and it's just vocals and keyboards, because the keyboards are so layered and relayered, it still sounds full. Same thing with the vocals. With all that wet reverb on there, it ends up making the song sound full at all times. Even at its most hollow sounding, it is still full. And a lot of people will like that. A lot of people are gonna like, 5 layers of guitars and 8 layers of keyboards and 3 layers of drums. I know there's going to be people out there who enjoy this. I know there are. And I can see where they're coming from. There is definite value in this song. It's not necessarily in the songwriting. The chordal progression, not so much. It's the very easy chordal progression to follow. Pleasing to the ear? Yes. Absolutely. Impressive? No. The only thing impressive about this entire song is the mixing, is the digitals and the tracking and the doubling and redoubling and redoubling of voicing. That's the impressive thing. The engineering on this is impressive, absolutely. But the song as it stands on its own, I wouldn't say impressive, not by any stretch. Sounds good though. It is pleasing to the ear. I'd be really interested to see this song performed live. I would really be interested to see that. If nobody requests it, I'll just go on my own and see if I'm curious. Maybe this is one of those bands that don't play live at all, and all they do are studio recordings. There are bands like that. Not a fan of those bands. I believe if you record an album, you need to go out there and promote it. You really do. That's why you tour, is to promote an album. So that's the main reason. Or the other reason, obviously, if you're a band like Kiss, you haven't released a new album in over 20 years. You go out there and over 20, closer to 30. You just go out there to make a quick buck, and you tour for that reason. But in a situation like that though, you gotta spend money to make money. You're gonna spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a tour in order to make millions. You know what I mean? It's That's the hope. That's the goal. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, when you tour, you lose money. You don't. Your odds of actually making money on a tour are actually pretty slim. That's why I'm glad I'm a paid musician. I get paid regardless of how many tickets were sold. That's to my advantage. Anyway, I would be interested to see if these guys do play live. I'm not sure if they do. So in the comments, let me know. Do these guys play live? Number 1. And if they do play live, number 2, is there any footage I could see, especially of this particular song? I would be interested to see it. So anyway, 7.4 for this song. Like I said, I don't like it. And I make no bones about it. I do not like this. But looking at the song objectively, it deserves a 7.4, absolutely. So let's wrap this up in a nice shiny bow before I change my mind. So we got a 7.4, which is a really good skill rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B as in boy, B+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.